Hey everybody, Miss Sewing here with a video walkthrough on how to use your guided notes. You'll see these guided notes for every video lesson we do this year, so it's really important you know how to access and edit them. The guided notes are just a way of following along with the video lectures we do and ensures that you get the main point, the key vocabulary, basically all that important stuff you'll need come star time the first time from the video. Please keep in mind, like I mentioned here, you can always handwrite your notes if you prefer. In fact, it is a more effective strategy for learning notes. But of course, since we are distant, I don't have that paper to provide you. And I understand not everyone has paper lying around. I'm actually running very, very low myself. So if you choose to do the handwritten notes, just keep in mind you should follow this guide exactly, take a photo of your notes, and upload them to Classroom. But I'm happy to accept those. Your notes will be graded, but I'll make sure to be really clear about what parts of the notes I'll be grading and provide you this rubric, which you'll see on Google Classroom, explaining what I'm looking for. So the way this works is I'll scroll down to our first part. You'll notice in our guided notes today, because it's the first of a unit, you'll see this vocabulary sort activity. So this is a Google Doc. It is shared in Google Classroom, and you have your own individual copy, which is awesome. That means you can edit this document and it is yours to edit. If you're using a phone or an iPad, you might need to download the Google Docs app. It's going to look like this icon here in the top left. But that's, of course, depending on your device and its limitations. So, for example, here with our vocabulary sort, I'm going to ask you to take a look at some of these words we're going to see this year and in this unit. And go ahead and think about, can you explain what that word means to somebody else? You already know the definition. And if you do, for example, if you feel like you know that voting is the process that we do to pick our elected officials, I'm going to ask that you highlight that here in green. If there are words you've heard before, but you're a little fuzzy, say maybe you've heard of what Democrats and Republicans are, but maybe you can't explain what the difference is, go ahead and put that sucker in yellow. And if there's a word that you don't know, maybe you've never heard this word electoral college before, and you have no idea what it means, go ahead and put that sucker here in red. Further down, you'll see our video lesson. So I'm showing you there are two ways to access the video. The first is to click the image, which will give you the YouTube link to our first video. You'll notice this one is 4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and close out so it doesn't play for us. If you're also using a second device, maybe you want to play that video on a phone, you can always go ahead and scan that QR code. Instructions are here on how to do that. And finally, here are our notes. So as you'll see, I'll kind of zoom out. This is pretty short and sweet. Again, our video is only 4 minutes, so I will always start by asking you to write down the essential question, which is really helpful when you're looking back on your notes. Again, especially as we get closer to STAR, you'll kind of forget what we learned here. So this is a quick overview. Got some key vocabulary for you to define, something to copy and paste here, and a few other questions to answer. Keep in mind for this video, I've gone ahead and put the part that I will be grading here in yellow, kind of as an indication to you not to skip that part. That is the question I will be grading your response on. And I do have a sentence starter for you if you need a little help getting started with your written response. I know that is a lot. I want to add one more thing. And that is, if you are not a great typer or a writer, and typing just takes a lot of time out of you, we do have this function that allows you to voice type. Here it is under Tools, or it's a Command-Shift-S. I won't do it right now because, actually, let's see what happens. Voice typing. It's going to ask click to speak. This is the essential question, exclamation mark. Look at that. You do have to speak pretty clearly, but hey, that is a shortcut if you like to type things out using your voice rather than your fingers. It's a cool trick I found. That is it for me, guys. That is our walkthrough on how to use our video notes. You're going to see these every time we have a video lesson, so they will become very familiar to you shortly. Thanks.